We have access to immense material comfort, yet our children are often anxious, entitled, and emotionally fragile. We buy them everything, hoping to secure their future, but by removing their need to struggle, we are accidentally erasing their ability to endure hardship. Look at the Han Dynasty. When the emperor conquered the known world, he rewarded his 100 greatest officials by dividing the empire among them. But his top advisor, Xiaohe, did something bizarre. He intentionally asked for the poorest, most barren patch of dirt on the entire map. He knew that if his family held fertile land, they would grow soft, relying entirely on the soil to feed them. A century later, a historian audited those 100 noble families. The descendants of the fertile lands had fallen into ruin, consumed by laziness and bitter rivalries. Only Xiaohe's lineage remained strong. That barren patch of dirt forced his children to wake up early, practice daily diligence, and work together just to survive. Leaving your children a necessity to work guarantees survival far better than a massive bank account. The ancients called this yin-da, or hidden virtue, an inheritance of character rather than liquid cash. The ancient merchant Fan Li built a massive fortune from nothing and then intentionally gave it all away to the poor. He repeated this cycle 3 times. He truly understood that wealth operates like water. It must circulate to remain healthy. We often assume merit is tied to the dollar amount. Imagine a massive corporation donating hundreds of thousands to a hospital versus an impoverished farming couple spending their entire life savings to buy a single ambulance. The farmer's gift holds higher universal value because it requires complete self-sacrifice. There is a historical account of a poor woman who visited a temple with only 2 cents to her name. She donated both of her coins with such pure humility that the temple's abbot personally came out to pray for her. Years later, she married into nobility and returned to the same temple, this time donating thousands of taels of gold. Yet the abbot only sent a junior disciple to receive her. Her offering of gold lacked the humble sincerity of her 2 pennies. The universal law of legacy responds exclusively to the purity of our intentions. This internal intention dictates our external legacy, starting with the immediate household. The true foundation of a family's strength is the quiet, operational orbit between a husband and a wife. A husband maintains a deep, continuous gratitude for his wife's invisible labor in managing the home and raising the children. The wife, in turn, cultivates her speech and character, setting the emotional weather for the entire household. Children are highly resistant to spoken lectures. Instead, they absorb the environment. They are programmed entirely by observing their parents' silent actions. When the teacher, Master Kai, was a young boy, he watched his mother ride a broken-down bus. At the end of the trip, instead of complaining about the terrible noise the broken exhaust pipe made, she quietly slipped the driver an extra $500. She knew the man was struggling to feed his family, and that repairs would ruin him financially. She didn't say a single word about compassion to her son, but that silent act of empathy defined his understanding of virtue for the rest of his life. A parent's quietest actions are their loudest educational tools. Empathy, however, must be structured. A common trap in modern parenting is offering love completely detached from discipline. This inevitably breeds entitlement and suffering later in life. Master Kai once hosted his young nephew for a New Year's Eve dinner. When told to hold his chopsticks higher for hygiene, the boy looked directly at his uncle and deliberately slid his hand further down to the bottom. He was testing the boundaries. Master Kai instantly picked the boy up and removed him from the dining room, cutting him off from the rest of the family who might intervene. He established a firm consequence. The louder the boy cried, the heavier his punishment would be. The tantrum stopped immediately. Then the boy's mother entered the room. Instead of coddling him, she forced him to articulate exactly what he had done wrong. Only after he understood and admitted his error did she instruct him to go apologize to his uncle. This is the required harmony of kung yu, or firmness and gentleness. Strict boundaries construct a safe container for the child's behavior, while guided reflection shapes their inner heart. Ultimately, you cannot engineer a disciplined, peaceful family without possessing a disciplined mind yourself. The ancient text Di Zi Guai is often mistaken for a simple rule book for children. In reality, it acts as a rigorous psychological mirror to expose the daily flaws of adults. A teacher in Haikou utilized this text as a daily operational framework. He read it every single morning to set his intentions, and read it again every night to conduct a blunt audit of his own behavior. Another man struggled with a lifelong habit of speaking ill of others. By reading the text daily, a specific phrase, "Do not expose the faults of others," would flash in his mind the exact moment the urge to gossip arose, instantly killing the impulse. Ancient wisdom serves as a tactical weapon, severing bad habits during a specific interaction. The silent state of a parent's own mind, forged through a daily commitment to conquer their own flaws, becomes the child's actual inheritance.